Remember the movie Predator, when Schwarzenegger covers himself in mud to hide his heat signature? It turns out Russian soldiers are trying the same thing right now in Ukraine, but the physics of 2025 are much harder to beat than movie logic. Here is why the invisibility cloak is dead. Reports from the front lines in Kupiansk and Pokrovsk reveal a desperate new tactic. Assault teams are ditching heavy armor, leaving behind machine guns, and sprinting toward Ukrainian positions in the middle of the night, armed with nothing but rifles and an anti-thermal poncho. They call them anti-thermal cloaks designed to block body heat, so the drone above sees the same temperature as the cold ground. But according to drone operators in the 4-post unit, this is basically just wearing a raincoat. Why? Because modern thermal cameras used by Ukraine are not just cameras, they are measuring instruments. High-end sensors can now detect temperature differences as small as 0.012 degrees. Even if that poncho masks most of your heat, if the air outside is 5 degrees Celsius and the air under your cape is 20 degrees, you are going to glow on the operator's screen. It is not just the heat, it is the contrast. These soldiers are moving fast, using light infantry tactics to close the distance. But movement creates friction and heat. The moment you sprint, you light up. Once you are spotted, you are often trapped. Engineers from the 63rd Brigade have set up what they call fish traps. These are mazes of non-explosive obstacles like razor wire. You run in thinking you are invisible. You hit the wire, you get stuck in a funnel you cannot back out of, and then the drone arrives. Why are troops so desperate to hide? Because the sky is absolutely full. Ukraine's Ministry of Defense just reported that the military is now receiving 950 interceptor drones every single day. Do the math with me. That is roughly 27,000 a month, over 300,000 a year, and that is just one type of drone designed to hunt other drones and loitering munitions like the Shahed. How is this possible? It is not just factories, it is logistics. Ukraine launched a system called Dot Chain Defense. It is basically Amazon Prime for war. Soldiers on the front line can bypass bureaucracy and order the specific gear they need directly from approved manufacturers. On top of that, German manufacturer Quantum Systems is setting up factories to pump out tens of thousands of AI-assisted recon drones directly inside Ukraine. These are not toys. They are vertical takeoff jets, highly resistant to jamming. When you have hundreds of thousands of drones hunting you, a poncho is not going to save you. Okay, so you can't hide on the battlefield. What if you hide underwater or in a heavily guarded naval base? This week, we saw an incredible piece of open-source intelligence. Reports came in that the Russian submarine Karadarbību, a vessel capable of firing Caliber cruise missiles, was hit. Russia did not confirm it. So, how do we know? Internet analysts looked at a video released by Russian media. They examined the specific painting patterns on the nose and tail of the submarine parked at the pier. They matched these unique markings to archive photos to positively identify Kolpino. But here is the smoking gun. Satellite photos show an oil slick spreading around the submarine, and the vessel is sitting 1.5 to 3 meters lower in the water than usual. This is a sub that is struggling to stay afloat. Even in a secure harbor hidden from view, satellites and pattern recognition exposed the damage. The Ukrainian post office is even rumored to be planning a new stamp for this, just like they did for the Moskva ship. Finally, if you can't hide in a poncho and you can't hide in a port, where do you go? You hide behind something the enemy dares not shoot. New reports confirm that the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant is being used as a military base. We are talking air defense systems and electronic warfare units parked right next to nuclear reactors. But even here, secrecy failed. How do we know the specifics? Because of a massive failure in operational security. A Russian soldier reportedly used his civilian email address to send a report to his commander. That email was intercepted. It contained coordinates of a crashed drone, but in doing so, it revealed the exact positions of Russian military hardware inside the plant. They tried to hide behind a nuclear shield, but a simple email gave them away. What we are seeing in Ukraine right now is the death of stealth. Between 950 drones launching every day, thermal cameras that see through camouflage, and satellites that watch every port, the fog of war is lifting. It doesn't matter if you have a submarine or a high-tech poncho. If you move, you create heat. If you park, you leave a satellite trail. If you send an email, you leave a digital footprint. The war of the future isn't about who has the biggest gun, it is about who can remain invisible for more than 5 minutes. And right now, that is getting nearly impossible. Thanks for watching.